there. He's the referee. Johnson, number 1. I can't really good name. Frank Trevin. Huh? Frank Trevin. It's a good trophy.
St. Mike's just missed their dunk.
Oh, they did?
Twice.
Nerves.
We're already running heavy. We're already behind.
You're watching the Northeast 10 Men's Basketball Championship presented by Visit Central Florida. We're in Manchester, New Hampshire this afternoon with the number 1 seed, St. Anselm College, playing host to the 6th seed, St. Michael's College Purple Knights. St. Anselm as the top dog, advancing here by taking down the 4th seed Assumption, the defending East Region NCAA champions. On the bottom half of the bracket, St. Michael's knocking out the upstart JoJo Wallace and Southern New Hampshire in overtime. As we welcome you courtside alongside the former Bentley and Harvard head coach Frank Sullivan, my name is Joel Godet. And Frank, if you're coming into this game as St. Michael's, it is the 4th time you've had a shot at St. A's this season. Can they finally get it done?
It's an NBA-style playoff situation, Joel. And when you get to the 4th game, which you don't see a lot in college, expect a curveball, maybe even a knuckleball. But the one thing we know, the last time these two teams played, 30 seconds to go, 1-possession game, so expect anything.
St. Michael's has to rely on its freshman point guard if it wants success tonight. That's Quentin Floyd, and he has kept head coach Eric Eaton very much at ease.
Remarkable freshman poise in the semifinal win over Southern New Hampshire. Outscored Southern New Hampshire 11-8, and it was a microcosm of his game. Scored, distributed, got himself to the free throw line. A great young talent in the league.
He's going head-to-head today with the player of the year in the league, though. That's the sophomore Will Davies, and he had a season no one saw coming.
Exactly. Everybody's asking, what happened to Will? Yeah, what happened from year 1 to year 2 to player of the year? Determination, hard work. 3-level scorer, excellent acute passer, purposeful dribbler. What a leader. Solid, solid individual. And you know what? Sometimes with player of the years, they refuse to lose in the championship game.
Number 1 seed St. Anselm, the number 6 seed St. Michael's, NE10 championship when we come on back.
Find your reason at St. Anselm College, a nationally ranked liberal arts college on a beautiful hilltop overlooking Manchester, New Hampshire, where we offer more than 100 academic programs to excite your passions, push your thinking, and help you discover your purpose. Schedule your visit today.
It's the #1 seed and the #6 seed, a guaranteed spot in the NCAA tournament on the line. Alongside Frank Sullivan, my name is Joel Godet. The rest of our crew will hear from Steve Zerdellian in just a little bit. Frank, you've coached in this league. This is what March is about.
Got two teams, Joel, that have recent NCAA pedigree. St. Mike's in 2004. St. A's in 2003 in the NCAA tournament. That's what this league is all about, getting to that championship level. Both teams had to reboot a little bit last year, but they've captured new momentum right now.
This barn is gonna burst.
It is a barn, isn't it?
They literally cannot fit people in here. Otherwise, they're gonna violate some fire codes. There are people in every inch of Stoutenburg Gymnasium as St. Anselm tries to win its first title since 2023. For St. Michael's, this would be the third in program history, their first since 2001. Two of the original members of the Elite Division II Conference in the Northeast.
Coach Eric Eaton told us, the St. Michael's coach, I like it. I like the atmosphere. I like people breathing down my neck. But you wonder if the home court advantage is negated just a piece, because St. Michael's has been here more than once, as we know, this season.
Fourth meeting between these teams. They played once non-conference, twice in conference, and Quentin Floyd gets St. Michael's going to start things off.
You know, after how hot he was in overtime in this semifinal, you just kind of knew first possession was all his.
Three from Adali misses short, the transfer out of the Naval Academy. Have to imagine the nerves are at an all-time high for these guys.
You know, you got the top scoring team in the conference, St. A's. They want to play up tempo. Guys in purple, a little more sets.
Greg Kenny's three cashes for a 5-0 lead.
Long, athletic Greg Kenny, the stretch four. Easy catch and shoot for him. And here's an issue right now. The guys in purple playing defense.
They play a matchup zone for head coach Eric Eaton. Floyd on Morissette, and he knocks in a two. Honestly, you're okay if he's going to take twos.
You know, we're going to talk about his three-point shooting at 43%. You're right, though, Josh. Get him to take his twos and go from there.
Greg Kenny, an elite defender. Zacho Littleton has hit as many as 8 threes in a game this year. There's the turnover, right back to St. Michael's.
You know, the guys in purple had 12 steals the last time we were here. They were here against the Hawks, and they converted those steals to points in that game, much as they did right there.
Josh Morissette is the Wofford transfer. He has hit as many as 12 threes in a game. That one's short. He was cooking 2 years ago against Franklin Pierce. Will Davies, player of the year. I like the fake, though.
Absolutely ran at that closeout nicely.
Briscoe, rebounded by Morissette.
You know, one of the things to talk about, Joel, with this game is the Hawks have out-rebounded St. Michael's by significant margins in the 3 games.
Early 4 points for Morissette. And they are the bigger team, St. Anselm.
especially when Paulus Rapolis gets going. There are not many 7-footers at this level. 34 in white, lurking in the lane. Tried to alter the tip back, but Kenny able to convert. He has 5. I tell you what, we're going to score some points tonight, Frank.
Greg Kenny, double-figure score, and there's 6 double-figure scorers for the Hawks. Guys in white bring double-figure scorers off the bench.
Straight on 3 is pure. Jovan Ristic for the first time.
You know, you talk about Ristic, you think about dirty work. Really gets on the boards, but he can play that finesse behind the line 3-point game as well.
Knights are 4 for their first 7.
They're going to go wide offense, as you can see. 4 behind the line, 1 in the post.
Into Merrill. And the Division I transfer, shot was altered. You can see the height playing a factor.
It absolutely did have a factor. Usually wants to go to the other shoulder.
The height definitely playing a factor. Paulus Rapolis announcing his presence with authority.
You know, the one thing about Paulus Rapolis is he can run the floor. We saw in that transition situation, and you can get those lob passes to him.
Handoff for Latique Briscoe. A little 2-man game with Merrill. Briscoe himself. Shots are not hard to come by, and they are all going down at this juncture.
Wouldn't want it any other way in a championship game.
4 of 8 for St. Mike's. 4 of 7, excuse me, for St. Anselm.
And St. A's will do the same thing. Spread the court out. Leave the big guy in tight to the rim. As you can see, 34 Rapolis. Maybe use him in the high post, but give lots of room to guys driving the basketball.
Shot clock at 4 from Adali in tight. Offensive rebound and our first foul of the day. I don't know if we had a stoppage in the first 4 minutes and 11 seconds. It's an 11-point lead for St. Michael's coming on the road in the NE10 title.
The Northeast 10 is fortunate to have lots of great venues for basketball, and Stoutenburg Gymnasium is one of the best. Opened in 1960 and home to Hawks basketball since then, the atmosphere generated when this place is full is amazing. As far as New England small college basketball venues, this is one of the best. If you've never been here and you enjoy it, I would say put this one on your bucket list. Joel and Coach, back to you.
Steve, thank you. And one dominated for so many years by Keith Dixon. 719 wins, and one of his proteges, Chris Santo, now the head coach here, trying to take his alma mater back to the NCAA tournament. Morset. Frank, what shots aren't going to go in today?
You know, 8 possessions each team so far. That's a lot within a 5-minute period of time. Somebody's going to settle in and play some defense, I hope.
You might think nerves in a conference tournament, but like,
and I think,
no.
But I think as a coach that he's got the early rhythm, let them go, let them play. But certainly the confidence level is up as both teams shooting well over 55% from the field.
Greg Kenny averages 10 points a game. He has 7. Another 3, wristic short. And a loose ball foul on Anya. The Englishman is the rookie of the year in the conference. There's Eric Eaton in his 7th season. Led St. Michael's to its best season in recent memory 2 years ago. It hosted the East Region in the NCAA tournament. First time it had done that in about a half a century.
Native of Worcester, Mass, played his college basketball exceptionally well at UMass Dartmouth in the Little East Conference.
Actually played against Josh Morsett's father, who played at Plymouth State when they were both in school.
Again, floor is wide open, 5 out.
Deep 3, Kenny. He has 10 points in the first 5 minutes.
You know, he played all 40 minutes the other night against Southern New Hampshire.
Medali hit an early one. Tried to rebound his own miss, and it's Kenny again. The sophomore transfer from LIU, and he had eyes on the bucket.
Sure did.
Floyd lost it. Big time numbers for St. Anselm. And a good reach by Kenny. That could have been an alley-oop to a trailing Anya, but Kenny, who's one of the best defensive players in this league, Eric Eaton thought he got snubbed for the all-defensive team.
He's a high-volume steal guy. What a play to run the court, make the move with his inside hand to get a piece of that basketball. You know, I was thinking of Kenny as a glue guy. He might be more than that. I was going to honor him by saying it's the glue guy on this team.
It's pretty valuable glue.
Dude, indeed.
Morset. Deadly range.
St. Mike's making the switch and actually bringing him inside the three-point line.
There is Chris Santo, former NE10 Player of the Year back in 2015, then became an assistant to Keith Dixon, went and worked under John Becker at Vermont before coming back last year as the head coach. And he credited Josh Morset big time because he could have transferred again, but he stuck around, and he is the wily vet on an otherwise really young team.
Sure, he's the old man of a very young team, and Santo appreciated him staying in place, had every reason to look around and see what was going on, had great confidence without knowing who his future teammates might be. And some new faces coming in.
Both free throws good for the 90% shooter.
Yeah, that's I think Coach Eaton was saying that after the foul. Why reach? You had him pick up his dribble, just leave it at that point.
Kenny, number 4, he's the hot hand, top of the screen. Floyd, free throw line. And Anya the board.
Good pull-up game right there. Defensive rebound for the Hawks. Nobody on the glass for the guys in purple there for a second chance.
And Morissette saying that was in the act of shooting. And so is the entire football team sitting courtside.
This has become one of what going into the season was intended to be a very beneficial rule. Now during the season, taking on new dimensions with players observing what the NBA players do in end of situations, clock situations, whatever, in terms of getting into motion. I don't think that was one of them right there.
Davies is the player of the year in the conference, number 12 in white. He is just a sophomore. Kind of speaks to all of the things that he does, right? He doesn't necessarily show up in a stat sheet, but boy, does he run this team.
There's that vision I was talking about. You see how he got into his dribble move. His vision was to the other side of the court before he tried to finish, then realized, I'm going to score this one myself. Will Davies.
Knots us up at 16. Runner for Rico Bird.
Well, Rico Bird, aggressive lefty. That's where he is at his best and can contribute offensively, just driving the ball to his strong left hand.
Anya in the corner. Around and out. Rim's buttery soft early, the rare miss.
It was well contested.
Kenny, I mean, if that would have gone, that's a foul on Davies.
One of the things in preparing for the game, we noticed that one thing St. Mike's didn't do in the game, in the 3 games that they played, just a good move right there to go to contact, is they didn't get themselves to the line as they normally do. They lead the Northeast 10, 20 free throw attempts per game. And then the 3 games against the Hawks have not gotten to the line more than 9 times on average. So early in the game, good to see Kenny get to the line.
First action for John Kelly. Replaces Nolan Merrill in the post.
Young Kelly, as a freshman, has done a good job in his role, rebounding and having a rim presence there. You can see him under the rim right now once we get into this picture. Oh,
3. Too much room.
What a quick catch and shoot.
Morissette has 12. Kenny has 11. May as well just clear the floor and let those 2 guys cook. 3. Dumont off the bench. Morissette the rebound, tip to Davies. Former player of the year out of Maine, knifing his way to the bucket. What a move.
How many people did he go around to get there? At least 3. Good dribble move, solid, in control with strength off the dribble.
Kenny baseline. And it's dried up a little bit here for St. Mike's. Solid effort with a 1-point lead. It is loud, it is intense. A spot in the NCAA tournament up for grabs in New Hampshire.
At Adelphi University, extraordinary happens every day. Our classes, smaller. Our academics, world-class. Graduating salaries, higher. Over $80,000 a year for baccalaureate grads. A U.S. News and World Report Best College with exceptional undergraduate and graduate programs, certificates, and continuing education. More scholarships, more internships. Whatever your goal, remember, extraordinary happens here.
Good business. 2 words that don't always go together, except at one place where they've lived in harmony for over a century, Bentley University. Here, we believe good business is making a profit and having a purpose. It's using artificial intelligence with human intelligence. It's being a force in the classroom and a force in the world. And it's building generational wealth and making an impact for generations to come. Bentley University. It's just good business.
Back here in New Hampshire at St. Anselm and St. Michael's at the NE10 championship. Last year it was Southern New Hampshire hosting Pace, and it went to overtime. These are the shots you live for. Curtis Henderson beats the buzzer, a 3 for back-to-back SNU championship titles. The emotion for obvious reasons. We'll get back underway here with Isaiah Griffin. His first action, the reserve point guard. So Davies and Griffin give St. A's 2 ball handlers. Gittinger is fouled in transition.
Ray Gittinger doing a nice job accelerating in the open court. Getting hit on the play.
St. Anselm is the team that has won this tournament most. They have 10 titles here in Manchester.
I think Coach Dixon had them all. I'm not sure.
Bentley is the only other team in the league that has been to 10 title games.
How about that? See Coach Dixon in the corner here overlooking the court.
By the way, tell me about Bentley getting all those title games.
Yeah, that's Coach Jay Lawson. 30 years, my assistant, has done such a remarkable job over a long period of time.
Anya Rebounded by Bird. Do you have a good March moment from your coaching career? Either a conference tournament or anything?
I do. It involves St. Anselm. It involves this gym. And Kenny's feeling good.
First touch for Kelly on offense. Just a freshman.
Yeah,
good kick.
Yeah, not going to go too far, Kelly.
Save to the other team. And do we have a clock issue or a potential out of bounds issue?
I think it's a clock reset issue.
Kenny's pointing to the shot clock, which is at 30. So what happened in this gym?
So it was in this gym we were playing St. Anselm in the first round of the Northeast 10 playoff. Actually, I think we were the Northeast 8 at that time. Coach Bob Brown, who went on to coach Boston University prior to Coach Dixon, was the coach. I think they had beaten us once or twice during the regular season.
You came back and got him?
Wait a minute, there's more to it. We did win the game, but there's more to it.
Ristic into the corner. Medali. Transfer out of the Naval Academy. Spent 2 years in Annapolis. Kelly does a great job to wall up. Anya. And a foul over the back. Yeah, that's on Ristic.
You know Ristic's going to go hard on every missed shot. And you've got to get a little bit of a body into him if you can. Because his aggression sometime will take him over the top like that one.
Give us the end. How'd you guys win?
I don't think we had beat them during the season. It might have been a 1 versus 8 game. They were the top seed. I think I got it right. Coach Brown would correct me. We were a man-to-man defensive team with occasional zone defense 1-3-1.
Here's Briscoe. Nice bounce. Two-man game to Kelly. Rejected. Medali straight up and down. Griffin into Anya. He's got a double.
Good post up by Anya running the court. He'll go quick here.
Right back on the repost. Good defense by Kelly.
Sure was.
2 freshmen on each other. That's the future.
Johnny Kelly, the New Hampshire native, doing an excellent job here defensively.
Zacho Littleton. Give him 3.
What he does, most 3-point attempts on the team, most 3-point makes on the team. A transfer from Appalachian State.
8 of 11 from 3 against Bentley. Although that was in a loss. St. Mike's had a double-figure lead back in the regular season. At home, Bentley came from behind. Anya a 3 to answer.
So confident in his stroke.
It's a rebound for St. Mike's. The rebounding battle, Frank, was important to you. We are even there. And Littleton got fouled by his own guy. And they're going to put him at the line. And Chris Santo is saying, Floyd hit him.
2 officials that had responsibility on the play, one primary, one secondary, are going to conference here rather than just go to the monitor. And I think they'll correct it.
So I think they're saying Floyd got pushed into him by Griffin. And it is a push on Isaiah Griffin. And you're trying to be physical, conference championship game. Not that you're okay with that, because the call frustrates you as a coach, but if you're Chris Santo, you want your guys to get on their defender or on their offensive side.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want any level of displacement.
Kenny comes back in. 4 in purple has been the engine.
So at some point, remind me to finish the story. It wasn't just the winning.
St. Mike's 10 of 19 from the floor, better than 50%.
This is where he's good, the high ball screen. That's a Spain action, it's called, where somebody screens the screener. They just don't get anything out of it right now.
Merrill screens. Briscoe, little floater. Merrill saves it. Nope, he was out of bounds. Dribbled the ball over the line. Not a lot of turnovers in this game. That is the 6th total in 12 minutes. We are on pace, by the way, for each team to take 70 shots.
Something you don't often see in championships. It's just the opposite usually to start the game. Low scoring to the first media timeout.
Morissette just thought about shooting that for fun. And then we'll go to St. Mike's. He just turned around and said, I got a spot.
Well, he's a tough shot maker, always has been. He's a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker at all points in time.
It's a 5-point lead for the Purple Knights on the road. The Northeast 10 Basketball Championship is presented by Visit Central Florida. Experience the real Florida magic at visitcentralflorida.org. Taking a look at two of the most recent national championships in the Northeast 10. Kyle Lewis with an overtime winner for Adelphi men's lacrosse. Maddie Davis with an overtime winner for St. Anselm field hockey back in 2024. They know how to get it done in crunch time. I don't know if that's the coach's best friend because you're winning, but it's not great for the ticker.
Crunch time always a factor, less than 5 minutes to go. And certainly this St. Michael's team performed very well in crunch time the other night. And as did St. A's. Assumption made a great run at them in the end of that game in the semifinal.
St. Michael's had to get here in overtime over Southern New Hampshire. Had a 19-point lead with or away in the semis. And then St. A's found themselves down 11 in the semis 5 minutes in. Merrill doing a great job to create space.
Merrill knew there was a shot blocker there, a good rim pump faking, which he does all the time. The St. Mike's Purple Knights continue to shoot over 50% from the field. St. A's been about 3.5 minutes since they've scored.
7-point lead is the largest. Cut that down a little bit. Will Davies with 6.
We say with Will Davies, 3-level scorer. There's that mid-range activity.
Paulus Rapolis manning the paint, 7 feet tall, the transfer from Northern Kentucky. Kenny been quiet since his early heat run.
Runs into a 7-foot roadblock there as he tried to pivot in the lane.
Littleton was out of bounds. When you've got a 7-footer in the lane, if you're a post, right? Like if you're a guard, you got to have pull-ups and runners.
Yeah.
But if you're a post, what do you have to do differently?
If you're guarding a 7-footer?
If you're trying to score against a 7-footer.
Well, obviously pump faking as we saw there, and I think the early positioning is important. You're looking at Rapolis, though. He's a guy that can move his feet. He's very talented around that rim, but what we saw from Nolan there was good pump faking.
Davies now with 8. That was an interesting pick and roll because Rapolis didn't quite go all the way to the bucket.
Yeah.
That created some hesitation in the defense.
It sure did. So good pick and roll screeners will short roll and long roll. Keep the defense guessing in terms of what they're looking for.
Loose ball stays here. Kenny in the corner, puts it up. And the rebound, Medali for St. Anselm.
It's a good look at a second chance point for the guys in purple. This is where Morris said, Will Davies just got to take the game over. Like that, like that. Effective along the baseline, effective using his non-dominant hand to finish as he uses the rim.
That's 6 straight points for Davies. He is just a sophomore. You don't see second-year players of the year that often, especially who had, in Chris Santos' words, pedestrian freshman years.
Exactly.
What Davies do? How did he get better?
According to Coach Santos, he just worked hard, and I think there was an expectation that his starting position wasn't guaranteed. Coach said he got in shape, better conditioned, and just has lived the game for this last calendar year.
Kenny thought about it. Merrill and Rapolis.
Once you get position, pump fake, pump fake. Just try to get him to leave his feet. In that case there, unfortunately, just a little bit of a body bump on the play. Morris said, Davies, as I said, take the game over is a simple play, beating his defender through the baseline, using the rim as a guard, another person out there almost like, and finishes nicely with the left hand.
Merrill's a 73% free throw shooter. They are the 5th best free throw shooting team in the league, St. Michael's. Sorry, in the country.
Yeah.
Wide difference.
This guy's a solid defender, leads them in blocks. Colorado Mountain guys. Coach Eaton talked to us.
Too much Broncos gear, he said.
That's what he said.
Checks out, Kelly comes in.
He's done a good job, and Kelly gave them good minutes off the bench early in this first half.
A good New Englander, John Kelly.
John Kelly. You can see the lane will open up wide.
Morissette, tough assignment for Floyd.
Sure is.
Hand in his face, give him the 3 anyway. 15 first half points for the senior out of Exeter.
And we haven't seen his distance shooting quite yet. We've seen good three-point shooting from him for sure. We'll see some long ones going forward at some point.
St. A's has closed the gap, and Floyd opens it right back up, motioning 3 points to the St. Anselm student section.
You know, as he said, he was so poised the other night in overtime, and right now he's quieting the crowd.
Elbow jumper, rebound Kelly. The shooting percentages have calmed a little bit. Both teams are now in the 40s. And one on a 3.
Briscoe scores in a lot of different ways. He's 35% from behind the line. Oh, that was Littleton, my bad.
Zacho Littleton unconscious for a 6-point lead.
Quiros drills it to right field, and it is gone.
Pace University gets people where they want to go. Through immersive academics, real-world experiences, a customized approach that takes career goals and turns them into reality. And it all happens in the most connected location on Earth. No wonder Pace is among the top colleges and universities in the U.S. for highest earning alumni. In New York City, in Westchester County, and online, go-getters go to Pace.
Six-point lead for St. Michael's. NE10 championship up for grabs here in St. Anselm. Let's head down to Worcester, though. NE10 was put in a pretty cool position in October. That is Mark Wahlberg at Assumption University. He's got an upcoming film coming out this summer where he is an Assumption basketball alum. So they filmed part of it on campus with the actual teams playing a game in the movie. Really good experience.
Very cool. Very, very cool moment.
You a Mark Wahlberg guy?
Yeah.
Departed?
You know it. You know it. You can't be from Boston and not think about that thing. How about Littleton here? I mis-ID'd him before, but dead-eye shooter, high-level three-point shot maker. He's the old man on this team in his first year at St. Michael's.
Zacco completes the 4-point play. So after tying the game at 30, we're back to a 7-point, largest lead of the game for St. Mike's. Call it 5 with Anya hitting his first bucket.
Simple play by Anya. He hadn't made those corner threes. There he just pump faked, dribbled at the closeout, got himself an easier shot at the basket.
Wise play by a freshman.
Sure was. If you want to stay on the floor, it was.
Nice steal.
Missing some of those threes.
Advance pass, Anya, rise and rock.
You know, whether it be Eddie Anya, Paulus Rapolis, rim runner, where an offensive player just sprints to the front of the rim and a talented passer has the wherewithal to find him.
Back inside to Kelly, good reversal for Floyd. Everything is falling. St. Michael's, 7 of 11 from 3.
Young man from Windsor, Connecticut continues to quiet the momentum of the St. A's crowd.
Anya went back to the 3 that time. It's all right, starting to feel it. Bounce into Kelly. Freshman on freshman. And Kelly converts with the left.
Simple play by Kelly, and you saw the same thing. Get in tight, pump fake, just finish the play.
Good screen by Ristic.
Sure was, legal too.
Morissette off the closeout. Floyd made it difficult for him. Rebound Kelly.
It's Morissette, man. Get pump fake, shot fake rather. Left or right dribble to create his own shot. Just a good rim run, meaning he ran right down the middle of the floor. He went to the rim. They centered the ball in the backcourt. But how about this young guy, Quentin Floyd? Such poor, oh, you say it again, poise for a freshman.
Eric Eaton said when Quentin Floyd is in running the point, I just sit down and relax. I don't think that's true.
Well, 18 games in double figures, but you know the best thing about him too? Gets to the free throw line, well over 100. You don't see many freshmen come in, get to the line 100 times in their first year.
Ristic created space for himself, used that push. Fourth time these teams have met this season. They could meet a 5th in the NCAA tournament. Briscoe misses, Morissette the rebound. Anya ran the rim again. He was covered this time though.
Again, same thing, got the ball in the corner, went with a shot fake.
The ball is whipping. Anya, short. The way St. A's passes, you would think there's 3 seconds left on the shot.
You know, we talked about it earlier, the matchup defensive concepts by the Purple Knights. That's one thing you want to do. Beat them down the court, as we saw Anya. The second thing is move the ball quickly. Ball sticks on nobody's hands.
70 seconds left to go in the first. Runner Zacco. And Morissette pulls in the glass.
And Morissette was going to get that 50-50 no matter what.
Ristic eyes his feet, eyes the bucket. Rebound Kenny, and a foul after. That's Anya.
Such an important end of half possession for the Hawks.
No, I stand corrected. Look at the foul on St. Mike's.
Yeah. So to get this second chance opportunity.
It's the first on Quentin Floyd. Been a fairly clean game. That's the
Sure
10th
has.
foul.
Absolutely. St. Mike's continuing to win the boards, the backboards in this game. +3 advantage.
And they've stretched that out a little bit too. It had been fairly even. Anya wants that corner.
Oh, does he ever?
It's just not falling for him at this juncture.
Coach
Now 0
Eaton's-
for 5.
Yeah, he's going to chop the clock down, Coach Eaton. He likes where he is right now. And the ball's going to get in Floyd's hands, my guess would be.
Yeah, timeout. Rico Bird wasn't quite sure on the play call. In fairness, you can't take it with you, so
Yeah.
Eric Eaton will talk this one over. But we are here in Manchester on the campus of St. Anselm University, home to the New Hampshire Institute of Politics. So basically, if you've ever watched a presidential debate in primary season, you have seen St. Anselm's campus. Kind of a cool little
It truly is.
quirk of the campus here. And a great academic program from a policy standpoint, public policy standpoint. It's what they hang their hat on.
And they really bring the grassroots political people, local people into the picture. As the first state to vote, I think that's still in place, right?
Yeah.
First.
And then you get the student involvement,
Yeah.
student coverage, student media. Franklin Pierce is in this league. They've got a journalism school. They come and cover things. It really kind of brings the world here.
Truly.
If you ran for office, what would it be?
In what sense?
Like, are you a senator? Are you a dog catcher?
I'm a House of Representatives guy,
Okay.
you know, with the people. This is timeout is effective because Quentin Floyd wasn't on the floor. Now they just got to figure out who's the go-to guy here. Rico's he's with the ball right now. Got the strong left-handed dribble game.
All rookie last year. 8 on the timer. Popped out of Bird's hand. Wasn't touched by St. Anselm.
Well, Coach,
No, the foul. Excuse me.
Coach Eaton goes to the timeout, puts the ball in Rico Bird's hands. The aggressive lefty starter last year, now coming off the bench, gave him a screen on the angle at the elbow.
It's the second on Ristic. It's also the 7th on St. Anselm, so 1 and 1. Bird doesn't get to the line a bunch, so he's a 50% shooter, but shoots better in reality.
Yeah, this guy played 31 minutes a game last year. But as you saw there, he can beat a lot of people off the dribble when you allow him to go to his left hand.
Final 10 seconds here in the first half.
Everybody's pointing to Morissette.
Davies, player of the year. Missed it short, rebound, and did not get that off in time. And literally, momentum carried him out the door to the locker room. He was efficient. St. Michael's has an 8-point lead at the break. Gotta feel really good about the way that they've played, coming on the road as the 6th seed in this NE10 championship matchup.
Very relaxed to start the game. The game had immediate flow, so the anxiety of a championship game wasn't evident on either team. Then it became, as the half went on, finding moments for the defense to excel.
Let's head down to Steve with Eric Eaton.
Here with Coach Eric Eaton. Coach, what did you like about that first half?
Well, the ball went in, which is helpful. I think we were pretty active defensively, which was really good for us. We're pushing the ball, and I think we're playing at a pretty good pace. And, it's 20 minutes, so we got a whole nother 20 we got to play.
What's the message in the locker room? What are you emphasizing for the second half to the team?
Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't thought about it yet. Consistency is what we've been talking about all year long, and we're trying to keep our guys consistent. You got to stay level-headed in a game like this, and you can't play to anything else except what your responsibilities are on both sides of the ball, so it'll be as simple as that.
Sounds good. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Okay. Thanks, guys. Joel, Coach, back to you.
Steve, thank you. Eric Eaton's team in a really good spot. Yeah, the ball went in 50% of the time. 15 of 30 for St. Mike's. Our halftime coverage coming up next. Halftime here in New Hampshire, St. Michael's with an 8-point advantage. You know, college athletics, yes, it's about the stuff that happens in between the lines, but it's also about the entire experience of being a student athlete. Nothing exemplifies that more than the evolution of Hope Happens Here. It's a nationwide mental health initiative in collegiate athletics, and it was launched by St. Michael's College. Take a look.
So Hope Happens Here is a student athlete-based organization that really tries to have the conversation around mental health to reduce the stigma. Hope Happens Here is something that we're really proud of. There are now chapters at a lot of NE10 institutions, a lot of Vermont high school institutions, and a lot of institutions on the East Coast. So different groups do different things, but our group specifically focuses on programming, providing programming to student athletes, you know, all around, being a support system within the group. So usually there's 2 or 3 student athletes per team who are part of the group, and offering resources. Fall of 2015, Justin McKenzie and Danny Divis, 2 men's ice hockey players who each had their own kind of relationship with mental health, and they recognized that there was a void and something needed to be done. I still remember it at a volleyball game. They wrote Hope Happens Here on a poster board and had a couple of handouts. And that's how it started. It started with awareness games. They just said, you know, this is gonna be our Hope Happens Here game. We're gonna start talking about it. We brought in speakers, and then it just kind of evolved from there. People really thought it was a great opportunity. I think men's ice hockey players typically aren't having conversations around mental health. So I think it really helped to have male athletes in a sport that maybe hasn't always embraced, you know, that was huge. And then of course, St. Mike's being St. Mike's, we were all in supporting them in any way. So it's one of the proudest things that we've done at St. Mike's, in my opinion.
Halftime coverage continues. It is an 8-point lead for St. Michael's, looking to make it back to the NCAA Division II National Tournament.
I think when they talk about the life and the balance that Division II prides itself on, I think it exists.
You have an opportunity to be a contributing member in academia in your institution. You know, we have people who are heavy in research. We have people who have been published in their research. They're doing internships. They're going on study abroad opportunities.
All in all, I'd say the average D2 student athlete experience encompasses more than just their sport. And I think that is unique.
A lot of people kind of shun Division II basketball because everybody's goal is to play Division I. But you got some great talent in Division II basketball, and I love to see the growth. I mean, coming a quiet kid, now he's a leader. Now he's confident in his game, confident in himself, talking off the court, and being able to teach his own teammates how to be a better player.
And once you're able to understand that, that doesn't just get to be applied on the field or in the weight room. It is something that you can apply in the classroom. It is something that you can apply with peer groups. It's something you can apply with interviews for jobs. I think all of those things we get to embrace and understand how much of an impact athletics has on us as an individual. That's when you get to see the real magic of what Division II sports get to do for somebody when they leave college.
Forget the humble brag. Our pride is sky high. We're ranked nationally for research and 3rd in Connecticut. Recognized by U.S. News, Carnegie, and Fulbright. With 19 NCAA Division II sports teams, advanced research, small classes, and caring professors. Plus, limitless career opportunities in New Haven, Connecticut's top college city. We've earned our recognition. It's your turn. Leading the way. Southern Connecticut State University.
halftime here at Stoughtonburg Gymnasium, where the #1 seed St. Anselm trails by 8. Yeah, we've talked about student athletes doing a little bit more than just being athletes when they're in Division II. In the Northeast 10, some take that to a different level. Let's talk about Adelphi's Peyton Derwin, who is the model example of an NE10 student athlete.
I study criminal justice with a minor in poli-sci or political science, and I want to go to law school after undergrad. I'm a pre-professional ambassador here, so I help mentor younger undergraduate students who are interested in law school. I'm on the honor council here, so we focus on academic integrity at the school, and then I also founded the Adelphi Undergraduate Law Review, so I do that in my spare time and run that. So. Yeah, it's essentially just an undergraduate version of a law review. It's a publishing body at law schools where they accept student submissions, faculty, and other legal professionals, and then they work to edit those pieces and publish them. My sophomore year, I got to intern at the United States District Court in the Southern District of New York, so that's the Manhattan area. Yeah, everything that's been happening recently is usually in that court, so you're just seeing a whole lot. And I guess the cool thing about federal jurorship is that a judge is not necessarily focused on one thing, they're put everywhere. So I got to see civil cases, I got to see a big RICO trial, and then after then I've just done various different things, so it's just kind of continued to grow.
Frank, did you think about running the law review when you were in college?
No.
While being the goalie.
It's a great story.
It's an 8-point difference for St. Michael's at the half. Second half is coming your way next. Eight-point lead for St. Michael's, trying to upset the apple cart here. The #1 seed St. Anselm in the hunt for an NE10 championship. As we welcome you high atop our perch, that is Frank Sullivan, the former Bentley coach and Harvard coach. My name is Joel Godet. We'll hear from Steve Zerdalian again in just a little bit. In a championship, you would expect there to be jitters. There were none. Every shot went in. You surprised?
You know, yeah, actually, yes. And it actually did a nice job setting the table for everybody. I thought for St. Mike's, Greg Kenny was just outstanding. Making those early shots, kind of setting the table. That got everybody to relax. And I think that's been a factor in this game. But you get to the second half, Joel, pressure's on the #1 seed. I think when you talk about it, Steve talked to Coach going into halftime. I'm sure Coach Eaton said, playing with house money. We got the lead on the road at halftime. It's all on them.
Greg Kenny got it started for St. Michael's. Averages 10 points per game. He had 10 in the first 5 minutes. That was what really set the tone.
He was really confident shooting from behind the three-point line. He was flowing with his dribble game in terms of trying to find some offense, and he was just terrific being assertive at both ends of the court. But here on the offensive end, they said this got them to relax a little bit. He was terrific off the bounce. getting some shots at mid-range, made some threes, and then just continued to be sharp each time he touched the basketball. And it kind of opened it up for the other guys to relax. One of his threes right there.
Quinton Floyd, 3 of 6 from the floor, hit 2 big threes. He finished with 8.
He was a crowd silencer, Quinton Floyd, so he stifled some momentum with his ability to shoot the basketball. I think one of the things for St. Mike's right now is you need to know they made 7 threes in the first half. St. A's only made 4.
And then St. A's, they've got a lot of star players, but 2 real stars, and they shine.
And they'll both take the game over. Certainly Will right there, taking the ball to the basket, showing creative ways that he can finish off plays, getting to the rim, getting to mid-range, and scoring. And just a good job by them guarding Morissette, and it forced Will put the ball on the floor and go to the baseline on that drive. But there's no disputing, number 2 and white, Josh Morissette, is the guy that's going to carry this team into a winning second half and win the basketball game. His range on his shot, I'm sure they talked extensively in the St. Mike's locker room about guarding him and contesting him everywhere he goes, especially when they switch. But he's dynamite, man, when he gets a little bit of space.
5 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. Morissette is your game-high scorer at 15. Almost half of his team's points here at the break. Other than the three-point shooting, what jumps out at you most? The rebound.
The fact that St. Mike's is there in the rebounding battle. That was significant deficit, as we mentioned, in the first half in the 3 games prior to. So they're holding their own on the glass. Minimal turnovers for both teams. St. Mike's just can't be fooled by the 7 made threes. Not going to happen every half if you go 7 for 11.
All right, second half action when we come back.
Today is the day you graduate from Southern New Hampshire University.
I've been waiting for this day my whole life.
The fact that I get to walk across the stage and get my degree, it's honestly unreal.
Don't ever stop. Keep on believing in yourself. It is never too late.
If you're out there and wondering if you could be an SNHU graduate, today is the day to find out.
Visit snhu.edu.
Even as now someone who's 10 years removed from college, going back there, it just feels like going home.
The St. Mike's Way to me means leading through action, and that's something that I get to do every day here.
We are 1 half away from crowning a champion and sending somebody to the NCAA tournament. 8-point lead for the underdog. The 6th seed, Eric Eaton and St. Michael's, trying to win their first conference title in a quarter century. They did everything right, Frank, in the first half.
Oh, they sure did. They guarded well, they rebounded well, they were efficient with their scoring, and they weren't frazzled one bit by this crowd.
Quick trigger 3, and that's the first one for Davies. All his damage in the first half had been inside the arc.
Simple, let the play develop. First play of the second half. Will Davies delivers.
Quinton Floyd, downhill, drive and kick. Great way to drive attention. And then the 7-footer Rapolis, the rebound.
One from through the Hawks, only 3 turnovers in this first half. Good activity there with the 2-man game with Morissette and Davies.
Trying to find Morissette with some openings. Another drive in the mid-range game is strong for him. Tipped out of bounds.
He's been very efficient so far, Josh.
Steve Zerdelian was able to catch up there with Chris Santos.
Have the chance to talk to Chris Santos as he came out of the locker room. He liked his team's ball movement. The sets were good. They just didn't make enough shots. At the other end, he's trusting his defense and hoping that St. Michael's doesn't make 7 of 11 from 3 again.
And Rapolis misses another offensive rebound. Steve, thank you. Ristic a three. Knock it in. He'll be okay if his team makes 7 threes, though.
I'll tell you. How about Will Davis getting the rebound, throwing to a three-point shooter? It's usually just the opposite. Jovan Ristic rebounding the ball, throwing it to the perimeter.
And this Barnes come to life. A 6-0 run to start the second half. The students on their feet. Double team comes. Merrill, good kick out. Latique Briscoe Jr. Offensive rebound, or excuse me, defensive rebound, Morissette.
Good open shot, double team in the post, inside, outside pass, and fortunately, Ristic got the worst of that.
I think we have a blood stoppage. That'll do it.
Yeah, good double team to the low post. They weren't going to let him get into his move. Officials are going to look at it.
Yeah, the elbow to the face.
Yeah.
Usually frowned upon.
You know, excessive, unnecessary, and certainly always looking for contact above the shoulders. This is not a coach's challenge. This is a referee decision to get a good look at this right here. Is that a basketball move as he's pivoting? You know, and players are instructed as they pivot, the elbows need to go vertical as you make the move. They can't stay horizontal. And the question would be, did he not make an effort to move the elbows up?
How much of a thing is that something you think about in that moment?
As a player, no, you don't think about it.
Like, are my elbows vertical?
Well, it's something that you work on, but it was a hot topic in officiating a couple of years ago, the rotation of elbows vertically versus the rotation of elbows horizontally. But you're absolutely right, Joel. As a player, you don't think about that. You think about holding on to the ball, being aggressive, and certainly they pass on going anything further with this.
And nothing to upgrade.
This is a real strong officiating crew for the Northeast 10. Gary Corbett there, as we saw, Josh Burton, Jared Trotman. These are really good officials.
St. Anselm in that first half shot 45% from the floor. Both these teams were over 50 for much of the opening 20 minutes. And Morset's missed his first 2 shots here in the second.
Just trying to be creative there, but once again, he's forced inside with the switching inside the three-point line.
Littleton knocks one down left of the lane. There's a certain amount of swagger for St. Mike's, especially with the student section right on top of them.
I think their coach had led them to that kind of thinking.
St. A's has an answer for everything right now.
As we said in the open, this is what players of the year do. Refuse to lose in a championship game.
Kenny, so hot early, 12 points. Nice bounce pass to Merrill. Got his own miss, and then Rapolis. Kenny tried to jostle him up.
Terrific play by Kenny, creating a passing lane. Merrill just needed to catch it and finish it.
That was almost a perfect possession for
Sure
St.
was.
Michael's. Here's Medali in the lane.
Not enough lift on that. You know, Medali's been injured, as we know, in this February month.
Been dealing with an ankle, so Kenny's going to take him off the bounce right into the traffic of Rapolis. Rebound Davis. We're 4-on-4 at the moment. Little power play opportunity. Corner 3. Gittinger around and out. Offensive rebound, Morset. He likes the mismatch here.
He likes the back in plays, too.
Against Briscoe scores.
Regardless who's playing him, Josh Morissette has that dribble back down, almost NBA kind of step back play in the post areas.
If St. Anselm's going to win this thing, it's going to be because of 2 people.
You know it.
12 and 2. Floyd. Money. With the student section on its feet, you called them a quieter at halftime. They literally just sat down.
How about he had a 7-footer contesting him as well? He's still got the loft on his shot.
Will Davies tried to mimic him. Offensive rebound, Medali rejected. There is a foul. Merrill's coming in from the blind side. The foul will be on Littleton. And we'll have free throws when we come back.
Daly just doing an excellent job rebounding the basketball, but you've called it, Joel. If there's any way forward for the Hawks, it's got to be these two individuals, 12 and 2, and they can do it. They can carry this team.
The Northeast 10 Basketball Championship is presented by Visit Central Florida. Experience the real Florida magic at visitcentralflorida.org. As you get some views of Central Florida while we trudged through the snow to get here today. I could do that
there you
right
go.
now.
Oh, yeah.
That was live footage of Frank.
Yeah.
This is live footage of Will Davies, the player of the year in the conference as a sophomore, made huge strides forward this season. And Frank, I thought Chris Santo was interesting when he talked about how frank he was with him in the offseason and said, listen, you're not a creative enough passer. Did he ever take that to heart?
Oh, did he ever? I mean, he's got this vision that directs him towards some very narrow windows passing. He's an improved defender as well, as Coach told us, but really his passing ability has been extraordinary to lead the league in assists. This is what you want to hear, your coach saying you're not a good enough passer, and I'll go back and lead the league in assists the next year.
Second in the country.
And I'll score too while I'm doing it.
1 of 2 at the line for Jack Medali.
St. Mike's 28% here to start the second half in these first 5 minutes. You can't get discouraged. Certainly the defense looks stronger for the guys in white right now, guarding the ball tough right here.
Into Merrill. Rapolis has done a good job. Shot clock at 5. Nowhere to go, but Merrill will find a way to the free throw line.
It's a good look at answering your question you posed earlier, Joel. Gets against a 7-footer. Well, go to the other side of the rim off the dribble and make him catch up to you. I think right there, I think he does a good job vertically, but you can see his body around the hip area went into the finish.
5th best free throw shooting team in the country. And Merrill, for a big 75%, Rapolis goes out.
You know, Merrill's such a solid defensive player. Leads the team in blocks and steals, but we've seen in this ball game, he can be a contributor in the low post area.
2 for 2.
And he's a high efficiency guy too, 56% from the field.
Put us in Nolan Merrill's shoes. What does it look like when you're on the block and you look up and see 7 feet?
You see arms and you see legs, and you've just got to move those arms and legs as best you can.
Kenny just took a German suplex from Josh Morset. He's okay. That's the first on Greg Kenny. Best defender that St. Michael's has. Eric Eaton said, disappointed he wasn't on the all-defense team, maybe hurt because they play a matchup zone and he's not always on the ball.
Yeah.
Good skip. Griffin a three. Well short. Kenny the rebound.
Isaiah Griffin can make those shots. It's a true luxury.
Head down for Floyd. Went right to the rim with Rapolis on the bench. Could not capitalize.
Isaiah Griffin's a really talented offensive player, number one. You can see right now Morissette doing, Will Davies doing the same thing Morissette did, back in.
Good bounce. The point guard skills are what gets number one on the floor, though. Griffin was brought in to be the starting point guard because they didn't know what they'd get from Davies.
He's got speed, he's got energy, making a difference here as he get a nice back cut by Ristic.
Floyd with a hand down. And that is off of Greg Kenny. Excuse me, off of, yes, Kenny. St. Anselm ball.
Kenny trying to cover the weak side of the glass, but that's a room service bounce pass from Isaiah Griffin, the transfer from Eastern Illinois. As you said, it's a real luxury having a point guard this capable in a backup role off the bench. Griffin getting about 14 minutes a game.
And credit to him for accepting
that. Yeah.
Into Ristic. Anya the rebound. Rookie of the year to the free throw line for a three-point play.
This is a big play by Anya. You know, we saw his three-point shooting in the first half. He couldn't make them from out there with any consistency. Only one rebound in the first half. I'm sure somebody nudged him at halftime saying, "You're too good a vertical leaper to come with just one rebound in a half of basketball." So good for him.
Merrill hit with his first foul. Anya unable to tie the game. So we stay with a St. Michael's lead. What was 8 at the break. Merrill.
Good dig down by Ristic.
Kenny just threw it up. Offensive rebound. Anya the board. And then Merrill kind of got caught over the back. The fans wanted a whistle.
Two-man play between the two high scorers, just the two of them in the backcourt here.
That wasn't what Davies wanted. Morissette a three. Air ball. You will rarely see that.
You know, you really don't see it that often, Josh, because he's so good at pushing off the dribble, as you saw, to get the momentum into his legs to get the shot off.
Fourth leading three-point shooter in the country. Josh Morissette at a 43% clip this winter. I can't even imagine. The guy hit 12 threes in a game 2 years ago. I cannot fathom. Steal. Griffin all alone. Okay, he could have gone to Showtime, but he just takes the guarantee for the lead and a timeout, St. Michael's.
So what does it mean to be an AIC student? It means hands-on learning experiences in the classroom and beyond. It means fostering your creativity and finding your voice. It means being a part of an inclusive and diverse community. It means building your relationships that will last a lifetime. Being an AIC student means finding where you belong, and you belong at AIC.
St. Anselm taking the lead, 51-50, overcoming an 8-point second half deficit. Frank, what's changed?
The defense, I think, for the Hawks has been stellar. As we see, they created another momentum silencer. I think their defense has been much better in the second half. Tougher, stronger, a little more urgency to their defensive game, and it's shown up with St. Mike shooting 2 for 11 in the second half.
Quentin Floyd is remarkable, though. He really does silence the crowd. Morissette wanted a whistle. Has his own rebound. Right to the rim. Still doesn't catch a whistle, and Greg Kenny has the glass.
Great job by Kelly staying vertical and not fouling him.
Briscoe on the reverse. Rebound, Anya has the number advantage. Caught in a double, though. His own rebound, was looking for an outlet. He didn't see Morissette at the top of the key.
Sure didn't. St. Mike's coming up with a 50-50 ball.
Briscoe tries it again for the second straight possession, and a long board to Griffin. Ristic wants it. Ristic finds it.
Isaiah Griffin once again making a big play off the dribble.
Griffin again. Out of bounds, last touch by number 1 in white. Absolute difference maker.
Set the tone for sure. Jumping into passing lane and anticipating, getting the rhythm of the passing along the perimeter, and just doing a great job in the open court. Look at the vision. Eyes are up the whole way. Ristic going with him on the right side. Ristic with a strong finish.
Here with head coach Keith Dixon, well, legendary head coach Keith Dixon. Coach, you retired a couple of years ago. You come back, you got a banner in your honor, you got your name on the floor. How strange does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, you spend your whole career in one place, I guess, and it's just an honor to have them recognize anything that we did.
So you stepped away 2 years ago, Chris Santo as your successor. What makes Chris, who played under you and coached under you, what makes him such a great fit for this role?
I think that, you know, he played here, he embodies everything that's important about St. Anselm basketball play. He worked here, he knows everything about the school, and he loves St. Anselm, so he's perfect.
Great, sounds good, Coach. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the game. Joel and Coach, back to you.
Steve and Keith, thank you. Frank, what is Keith Dixon thinking right now watching this run for the Hawks?
I think he's very proud of what's going on right now, the resiliency they're showing in the second half. And certainly to see their determination defensively right now.
St. Michael's is one of its last 7. Its entire rhythm has been disrupted.
It sure has, and it's all because of the half-court man-to-man defense that Coach Dixon lived by during his tenure, and Coach Santo has taken the mantle on. No zone, only man-to-man.
Chris Santos said he asked himself 2 questions. Would I want to play for this decision, and what would Keith Dixon do? Morissette off that kick out. Oh! You couldn't do that twice if you tried.
His confidence never wanes, Josh Morissette.
Largest lead of the game stays at 4. Rebound Ed Anya. More importantly, the student section stays standing for Ristic. St. Anselm taking over as the #1 seed. St. Michael's scoreless for almost 3 minutes. Quentin Floyd, way too long.
You know, you talk about it in the huddle. Stop, get stops, stop and score, stop and score. Exactly what St. A's has done in the second half. Generating stops and scoring at the other end. This guy's an issue.
Mismatch. Shoot over top of it. Griffin saw the trees and said, watch me. Does Eric Eaton need a timeout?
You know, I don't know that he wants the crowd to get too energized. If they can go to another level, he's hoping for a quick basket here, and then maybe.
Problem is he got a miss and a foul. The crowd can't get any more energized.
I know.
And Griffin came down awkwardly.
Just a long 50-50 ball. Watch the distance that Griffin falls here.
Got rolled up on by John Kelly. Isaiah Griffin has been an absolute difference maker for St. A's here in the second half. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, but that doesn't do it justice because the defensive pressure Frank he's put on has been remarkable.
You know, got into passing lanes, guarded his man aggressively all over the floor, injected life into a defense that just isn't the same as it was in this first half.
Will Davies is still the point guard, so that part is taken care of. He's the player of the year in the league. But you need to continue the energy that Griffin brought with you off the bench. Largest lead of the game for St. Anselm. Ristic keeps it going to the free throw line. Left the finger roll a little bit short.
Jovan Ristic is so good off the ball. Saw the penetration on the baseline, just makes a simple cut from the weak side to the open area as his man looked at the basketball and gets himself to the free throw line.
72% shooter for the transfer from Loyola Marymount. Ristic is a third-year sophomore, which makes him one of the oldest people on the team. Josh Morissette is a senior. He's the only one. It's incredible what St. Anselm has done with a new cast of characters, a handful of transfers, but also a handful of freshmen and sophomores as the 1 seed.
Replaced a lot of people, and how about the Ristic story? The guy's from Serbia. He's going to school in Los Angeles and winds up here on the hilltop.
Ristic has the defense on Zacco Littleton, a dynamite three-point shooter. Nice pass by Briscoe, and Merrill rocks the rim.
Good play coming out of timeout, just simple basketball, roll to the rim, finish it strong. This is where St. Mike's may not have pressing defenses in there, scheming on defense. They'll stick with the matchup here.
Davies, short, rebound Merrill.
But if they can, in the half-court area of their defense, got to limit it to one-shot game. This is what Coach Eaton likes to do. He likes to isolate the matchups that he likes. I think he likes Quentin right here with the basketball in his hands.
Floyd downhill, threw it too high. Merrill wanted to avoid the foul. Had his arm in there against Anya.
It was a good like. He got a good look at the goal.
St. Mike's, though, now 4 of 19 in the second half. It could not miss in the first.
22% is really an ouch factor.
It'll stay here on the tip. I thought you did that math in your head, and then I realized you were reading the stat sheet.
No.
St. Anselm was down by 8 at the break. Well, a little bit of a reversal of fortunes midway through the second.
Here we go now.
Find your reason at St. Anselm College, a nationally ranked liberal arts college on a beautiful hilltop overlooking Manchester, New Hampshire, where we offer more than 100 academic programs to excite your passions, push your thinking, and help you discover your purpose. Schedule your visit today.
NE10 championship up for grabs. The winner a guaranteed spot in the NCAA tournament. Selection show coming up tomorrow night. You better stay up late. It is an 11 p.m. selection show on NCAA.com.
Get the West Coast scores and.
I mean, literally, yes. But
yeah.
You going to be up for that live?
Maybe, yeah.
Division
St. A's Hawks right now.
They're the number 3 seed in the regional rankings. Top 8 go to the dance. How about SNU? Really struggled this season. We're in last place for forever, and then everything clicked. And I honestly thought they were going to get here. Credit to St. Mike's for shutting them down.
A scary game for St. Mike's the other night. Coach Jack Perry brought them along nicely. Back-to-back wins against Bentley to end the season and in the first round. Highly commendable. What's commendable right here for St. A's? Only one personal foul in the second half with their aggressive defense, giving St. Mike's no opportunity to score at the free throw line. 0 for 0.
St. Mike's only averaged 9 free throws per game in the 3 meetings during the regular season. That's a team that leads the conference in free throws made and attempted.
And I was just going to bring up turnovers too. They only have 1 turnover in this second half. St. Mike's 0 points off turnovers. This one is the first opportunity they've had to score off a turnover in the second half.
Floyd a jumper. And the rebound, Medali. You talked about rebounding being key. The offensive boards are not there right now for St. Mike's.
No, and it's something that they get to sporadically. This is where
Davies, great pass, Ristic the rebound, threw it away.
This is where
Briscoe. All right, so he's 1-on-2 there. Maybe pull that out?
I know, yes. Probably a little bit more control. Every possession matters right now.
I don't know how Davies didn't walk.
I was saying that this is where Davies and Morissette would slow the game down. But Davies, no, I got an advantage. I'm not slowing this game down and chopping down some clock. I'm going right to the rim. Beautiful finish.
TJ Hennigan in off the bench, did not play in the first half. 20 in purple, top of your screen. Merrill. And we've got a whistle on the kick out. Shot clock was at 3. Foul on Anya.
Yeah, the weak side officials saying Anya held as Nolan tried to pass opposite. Nolan Moreau tried to go opposite with his pass.
It's only the second foul you alluded to. 5 on St. Mike's.
You know, we've seen some double teaming in the low post areas to create things like that.
Hennigan can't pay it off. And a foul.
And that was all Ristic on the weak side. Wasn't blocked out, went after it with 2 hands. Very small space to retrieve the ball on. Went after it with 2 hands.
7 of 11 from 3, St. Michael's in the first half. 0 for 6 in the second.
Certainly a factor, as we said, to start the second half. I'm sure the coach talked to them about that. Not that it's fool's gold, but you can't count on that.
Are they getting different looks?
I think the closeouts are quicker from St. A's. The pressure on the passers is better, so the pass doesn't get there as directly. This is where the Purple Knights just got to get a stop.
Medallia 3. Rebound punched out.
Such an effective thing, especially when you've got kids like Davies and Morissette behind the 3-point line. Just punch it back to him.
Morissette creating for himself. Rebound grabbed this time by Anya. 3rd chance, wide open Davies. And another swat out to an open Morissette. You cannot give the best team that many chances. Timeout. Josh Morissette, 5th made 3 of the game. The transfer from Wofford. Went down south for 1 year, wanted to find something that would suit him, that would be closer to home. Man, has he blossomed, and a chance to go out on the biggest of notes.
His range is unlimited, and he knows how to create momentum and bust up momentum if he needs to do that with his 3-point shooting. We haven't seen the distance shots today. I don't know. Is it parking lot range? Is it in the gym range? How do you describe him?
I'm like, define distance, because he's taken some deep ones.
I'm talking to, I know exactly.
You're looking for like the Caitlin Clark 3s.
Yeah, I'm looking for I'm not looking for logo 3s. Is it off the, but you gotta guard him. Off the bus, in the parking lot, walking in the gym. 43% on the season in a year when everybody knows he's got that game.
All right, let's go inside these huddles. St. Anselm outscoring St. Michael's by 22 in the second half. What does Eric Eaton say?
It's crunch time now, certainly under the 5-minute mark. As we've started to talk about, they've got to get stops. They've got to generate turnovers if they can. And they've just got to find a way not to let St. A's get any extra possessions on the offensive glass. That one there was very remarkable in terms of its opportunity.
Now you're going to give up second chance points. It's the
Oh yeah.
It can't be 0.
Yeah.
But 12 second chance points for St. A's in a 14-point game.
Yeah.
You cut down some of the offensive rebounds, and you're much more in this after the Purple Knights.
Right now, St. A's with only 2 personal fouls, so you can't really talk about driving the ball and getting to the free throw line in crunch time here.
Greg Kenny, those 12 first half points, still all he has, and on cue, give him 14.
Just a simple move by Kenny to his right hand and finish there. And you don't see them press that often, but when they do, they'll come at you with man-to-man, and maybe that one there, run and jump, which means he leaves and goes. St. A's with good spacing, get the ball to the middle.
4.5 minutes is not a lot of time, but Frank, it is plenty of time if you're St. Mike's. You're not in a panic mode yet.
Okay, 1-shot possession right there. Just sensible possession right here. Take care of the ball.
Briscoe, head fake. Merrill rejected by the point guard Davies, but he was out of bounds. That is not supposed to happen.
Just a great drive along the baseline. Sometimes when you bring the ball down, when you finish, see how he brought it down? People can get into the way and get a good look at it. Officials thinking about, certainly they can't go to the monitor on this unless it's a coach's challenge, but nothing there to look at.
Shot clock resets to 20. And we'll get a dead ball timeout at the next one, which is right there. Got a foul against St. Anselm. It is only the third against the Hawks.
You got to get it up just a little bit, get that total up just a little bit. Good drive right there to the baseline by Greg Kenny.
Got ourselves a 12-point game. Just an absolute rout for St. Anselm in the second half, outscoring St. Michael's by 20 since the break, turning an 8-point deficit into a 12-point lead, and doing it recently without Isaiah Griffin. He went out with a leg injury, clearly an ankle injury at this point. The team almost used that as a jumping off point.
See Isaiah sitting at the end of the bench now, so he's not in the training room any longer. He's back cheering right now as we speak. Remember, Ted Eniania has made a difference too when he's gotten his minutes. But this defense by the Hawks in the second half has been championship worthy for sure.
St. Michael's was electric from 3 in the first half, so more than capable. Merrill, good pass. He's done that really well today.
He sure is. He's a talented passer out of the low post, and Greg Kenny, a real good cut right there. Good coming out of the timeout play from the bench. Knows that they can get the ball into that low post and just play off of it.
Briscoe nearly jumped the passing lane.
This is one of those should we, shouldn't we? But in the end, get to the end of the possession and find Morissette and Will Davis with the ball in their hands.
Davies
right
has
here.
it.
Right here.
4 seconds, Morissette, there's the range.
It is. Parking lot range.
I was just going to ask you, at what point does it become too dangerous to burn clock like that because it takes you out of your rhythm?
Yeah.
But then Josh Morissette does his thing.
I think they're very confident, and Josh and Will can make baskets at any point in time, at any short clock. They've done it before, they'll do it again.
Kenny off the heel. Morissette has 26 on 6 of 11 from behind the arc with 6 boards and 3 assists. Anya. Exclamation point, didn't finish.
Good spacing against the press, good passing down the court as well.
Kenny is fouled, and that's a dream for St. Michael's because they can score with the clock stopped.
Yeah. I've been real impressed with number 4 in purple. Putting the ball on the floor, making threes.
And Frankie's a sophomore. Are you surprised at the advancement of the young players, that you've got so many elite freshmen and sophomores in this game?
You know, they're taking advantage of opportunity. Certainly that's the case with Quentin Floyd.
Hennigan returns.
This guy here on the line has had a terrific ball game. 7 boards, 18 points. Efficiency from the field.
Call it 19 for Greg Kenny. 10-point game, 2:30 to go.
Purple Knights not going to guard the basketball so they can generate a quick trap once the ball is put on the floor. They're waiting for the dribble before they trap. There it is.
Got to get it across, and they do. And Anya could have gone up there, but he's going to milk some more time.
It was a good decision. Good decision here by Ristic, too.
Morset, shot clock at 10. He can just hold this and shoot it at 1.
He'll finish it off. Good hand. Oh, good D.
Shot clock at 3. Morset, stop it. Okay, nearly an air ball. Offensive rebound is a backbreaker.
Ristic with rebound number 9.
And now Eric Eaton was telling his guys, get up and foul. So for 1:50 to play, St. Michael's going to try to extend this as long as they can. And that's the question. When do you start trying to extend the game? Well, when you're down 10.
Yeah.
This isn't too early. No?
No, St. Anselm's done a good job not fouling. Only the 4th personal foul on them.
Davies missing the front end of a 1-and-1. That is fantastic for the Purple Knights.
You know, the choice about fouling is team specific, and I think Coach Eaton's got the beat on that. Good push back there on the punch.
St. Mike's has not hit a 3 in the second half. Another offensive rebound thrown out of bounds to stay here.
How about Kenny coming from left field to get his hands on that ball in the corner. It's going to be a tough angle to inbound. It's so wide and deep in the corner.
How does your offense change with 90 seconds when you need 10 points and we've got a timeout for Eric Eaton? Walk me through the strategy here, because you want to run your stuff, but you have to run it accelerated, but not too fast.
Talking about St. Michael's?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've been throwing the ball into the post, as we've seen, trying to go quickly inside, outside, or take the quick 2. The quick 2, if it's made and it's efficiently done, gets them into the press. I mean, it's only a 10-point game right now. So if they can score quickly with a 2, get it to 8, get into their pressing, dynamic of the game changes just a little bit. If they can get a punch-out 3 off an offensive board, that too would change it.
St. Michael's was the 6th seed in this tournament. You would think comfortably in the regional rankings to make it to the NCAA tournament, although not a guarantee. It would have been a guarantee had they won today. Eric Eaton trying to build sustained success in Colchester after hosting the regional 2 years ago, and you could see that motion. We don't have timeouts, so no Chris Webber situations today. Sorry.
It's going to be a little bit wide on the passing angle, but they might get something in the long corner. You can see the cut by Briscoe.
Briscoe, floater, make it an 8-point game, and now here's going to be the press. St. Ace taking its time to inbound.
Good job by Littleton, just getting the 2-point make so they can get into the press.
And Eric Eaton thought he had his steal, thought he had that knocked out of bounds, but we'll get free throws instead.
I think he thought he had a better look at it than the official that called it. Was deep in the backcourt of the half court.
Foul is the 3rd on Quentin Floyd. Still a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and it's a 70% shooter at the line with Ristic.
And that's 2 front ends that St. Anselm has missed here late in the second half.
Again, the same thing. If 3 is there, take it. If the 2 is there, take the quicker one. Like that one right there.
Hennigan gave it away, and they'll call a foul on Morset. Oh.
Hennigan, very quiet game so far, but watch him bring the ball down. When you bring it down, you allow that hand to come over the top. And if you're Morissette, you've got to try for the ball. Sometimes in those situations, you'd rather see the hand go up than go down on it.
Merce missed the first. They said it was in the act of shooting. It's only the 5th team foul.
St. Mike's will trap and foul probably. See if they can get something out of the press here.
Morissette pinned by Kenny.
Just don't want to foul. Oh,
there's a steal and a foul. 7-point game. This is on the floor. St. Anselm still has one to give.
It stops the game. What a great job by number 4, Greg Kenny. Getting after Morissette's dribble. Puts the ball on the baseline for the Purple Knights.
Kenny contorting. And that is off of St. A's. And Josh Morissette saying, let's watch that. Seemed pretty confident. And we will get a review at the scorer's table.
Coaches get 1 challenge per game.
Inside the final 2. So this will be on the officials. So there's the initial shot, and then
not so sure.
It looked like Kenny.
Yeah, it did. But you're right, I stand corrected. On this part of the game, the officials take over the ball out of bounds replay decisions. The idea is truly to get the last couple minutes right. You know, Josh Morissette was pretty confident looking to the bench right away.
This is the Northeast 10 Men's Basketball Championship. It is sold out here at Stoughtonburg Gymnasium.
I think it's worth noting as well, Northeast 10 added replay in the last year or 2. There's some conferences in Division 2 and 3, mandated in Division 1, 2 and 3, not making replay available to the officials. There's a good illustration of why it's an important component of the Northeast 10 officiating program.
And once you get to the NCAA level, it starts to get mandated. So teams that want to host and the regionals are all hosted on campus sites at the D2 level.
I think they're undecided on it too. This is a lengthy conference after looking at it. They're instructed to look at it as a group, step back from the table as a group, talk about it as a group, but as the conversation goes on, as we see here.
Gary Corbett is our head official. Sorry, Frank.
Gary's the tall guy. He's talking to Josh Burton right there to his right.
St. Anselm ball, last touched by Greg Kenny. One more 1-and-1 on this foul for St. Michael's that I imagine will come pretty quickly.
St. Mike's will sell out right here, face guard, attempt to intercept, putting some length up there with Kenny. Now they'll foul.
Davies caught in the corner, got rid of the ball, tipped away and stolen.
It's that length that Kenny provided in the front court.
Floyd to the rim is fouled and free throws coming. So the foul goes on the other team.
What a play. You know, they set up in their press, and you can see the coaching staff motion for Greg Kenny to come up to the front court area, and this is why he brought length. Not too many guys could get to that basketball. Recognizing that St. A's wants to go opposite to the sideline with the pass out of the corner.
Quentin Floyd can make this a 2-possession game. He is a 78% free throw shooter.
And he's been there, done that. This is what he did in the semifinal in overtime With Southern New Hampshire, got to the free throw line, made his free throws.
He was 10 of 12 in that game. These are his first free throws.
How about that?
Hits them both. All right, now can you do it twice if you're St.
Yeah,
Mike's?
same thing. Face guard up front.
Turned it over. Oh, Briscoe thought twice. And then gets rejected. Ping pong. 39 seconds to go. 3, Briscoe. Air ball. He was almost too patient, Frank. He should have taken the first three.
He should have taken it right away. You're absolutely right. Loses his balance on the second one. St. Mike's bench trying to barter, Coach Eaton trying to barter for a foul of the shooter. And I think the officials are going to conference on it. I'm not so sure they can look at it without a call being made on the floor.
And they will conference with an official's timeout. The entire St. A's student section is asking for a technical. And Eric Eaton is getting more and more fired up.
No, he's got a case here. His player's on the floor. I think you're absolutely right. That Bristow probably could have gone earlier. Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah, well, no, the initial, like off the steal.
Yeah. And whether or not he's fouled here on the closeout. Just a rush into the landing space. It's something that cannot be reviewed.
2-possession game, 30 seconds to go. Last time I jumped the gun saying it would be a 1-and-1. We'll see if St. Michael's can force the steal first again.
Good for them, doing a good job, St. Mike's. Base guarding and putting a long player. You see in the middle of the screen, Greg Kenny there. Play the other guys man-to-man in the backcourt. Take the guy off the ball, face guard, and trap.
The arrow is St. Anselm's on a held ball. Davies to Anya. Now you got to go to the rim. 7-point lead with 25 to go.
Good spacing by St. Anselm. Always a man long is effective, and we saw it being valuable right there.
Time ticking away, and a foul. Ristic couldn't get away. Quentin Floyd will have 3 free throws. He makes them all. It's a 2-possession game again.
Officials now going to initiate a monitor review. My guess is to confirm that he's behind the 3-point line.
Oh, yeah, his right leg looks like it's on it.
So it's a smart review right now. Ristic just disappointed in himself, getting a little bit reckless there as he tried to challenge a shot. And if you're Coach Eric Eaton, this is a valuable timeout as well for the monitor review. Difficult to see, but they've got other views.
St. Anselm, if it holds on, would pick up its 11th NE10 championship in its 17th final, its first title since 2003. And Chris Santo, as an alum, was really emotional after the semifinals about what this would mean to him, to the program, to the alums. He said, listen, like my friends are the people that are invested in this. This is really important to a lot of people in his life. It's not about him, it's about the players, it's about the community.
Mantles are passed, as we talked about with Coach Dixon, passing it on to Chris, and Chris feels that stewardship component to his everyday work in this program. Recruiting the right players, coaching them the same way, and winning. And of course, as always at St. A's, get to the NCAA tournament.
The St. A's fans would say, ball don't lie. Can still cut it to a 5-point game.
Give the Purple Knights credit. They've been strong defensively in the full court.
They missed the third. Rebound. Hennigan put it back. Best case scenario for St. Michael's.
Hennigan not blocked out.
15 seconds to go. Morissette caught free. Loose ball. Davies throws it out of harm's way. Intercepted and out of bounds off of Littleton.
You know, Littleton just trying to do the right thing. Tried to run before he retrieved it. 50-50 long balls. You got to pick them up first and then go. Tough break there.
And a timeout, St. Anselm, and that is where I'm sure Eric Eaton is kicking himself, wishing he had a timeout left because St. Mike's could have used one.
This is just a terrific double team in the corner. Lots of contact, but nothing there in terms of the officials. What a step up by Littleton to get there and just unfortunately trying to go too fast.
Well, I stand corrected. They never really had a spot there where they were in possession. Live, it felt like there was a hot second where you were hugging it and you'd call the timeout.
Yeah. But what fight on both sides. The guys in white right here. Determination in the second half after being down in the first half. Coming out with a strong defense and a strong offensive run to kind of create separation in the second half.
And let's not undersell the fact that this is the 4th time these teams have met this year.
No, I had forgotten that.
Chris Santos said it's hard to win a college basketball game. It's very difficult to beat a team twice. It's nearly impossible to do it 3 times. If we do it a 4th time, it is a daggum miracle. And we asked Eric Eaton, have you ever beaten a team, played a team 4 times? He said once, when I was in school. Morissette is fouled.
Good move into the backcourt to inbound it to create some distance so they couldn't trap it right away. And then certainly you get it in the hands of the guy you want to have the basketball in this kind of a situation.
It's fitting that Josh Morissette is the guy that heads to the free throw line here to seal it. From Exeter, New Hampshire, the Wofford transfer. Played 1 year down in South Carolina. Put his name in the portal. He knew he wanted to come home. Keith Dixon reached out. Didn't recruit him initially because he said, we didn't have a chance at him coming out of high school. But the second time around, Morissette said, hey, if they didn't reach out, I was going to reach out. This is where I wanted to be. And then you saw Chris Santo. When he took over for the retiring Dixon, Morissette stayed. He could have left. He stayed, and it set the tone. He is the only senior on a very young, what is likely to be NE10 championship team.
And he scored over 500 points this season. I think he went over 500 in this ball game.
Littleton, the last shot, and it's an 11th title for St. Anselm. The Kings of the NE10 reign supreme again. Their first title since 2023. St. Anselm, wire to wire, the top team in the NE10. And Chris Santo, in just his 2nd year as a head coach, wins the title.
How about he told us before the game, he said to Morissette, you're a 500 player. They were 15 and 15 a year ago. You're not a championship player yet, and he is now, absolutely for sure. This is a proud coach, a proud program, big piece of their legacy. Player of the year, rookie of the year, now champions of the regular season and the conference tournament.
We don't know this for a fact, but I'm almost positive Josh Morissette will be your MVP. 28 points in the championship. He had 24 in the semifinals.
His maturity showed up big time. Will Davis, of course, player of the year. Got a little rattled there late with some of the pressure from St. Michael's.
We'll chat with Chris Santo here in just a second. The entire awards ceremony will stream live online if you find it on YouTube. But we will talk to Chris Santo and then put a bow on things from here in New Hampshire. Let's head on down to Steve Zerdelian.
Easy, right? No. Here with head coach Chris Santo. Hey. Coach, get there. Congratulations on the win. What must the emotions feel like right now?
It's unbelievable. I'm an alumni of this school, and this place is really, it's special to me. So for us to be able to do this, for Josh Morissette, who believed in us when we took the job, I'm so happy for our guys. And why would it be easy? St. Mike's is a really good team. It's our 4th time that we had to beat them for this, and our guys deserve it. Been the best team in the league all year, I think.
So you brought together a team that had 1 returning starter and 1 other rotation player. That journey must have been really something that it took time to come together.
Yeah, and to our guys' credit, as we were learning throughout the season, we were able to win a lot of games and a lot of close games. We've been in that position before, and I think in the biggest moments, you're able to go back to what you've been through. And kudos to our guys. I mean, we handled the press break terrible, but other than that, we handled the game great. We battled through adversity in the first half. They tried to fight. It had everything a championship game should have.
Congratulations, Coach. Go enjoy with the team.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well done. See if we can get Josh Morissette in here really quick.
Nope.
I think he'll be with us in just a moment. He's got some celebrating to do first. Josh, congratulations. What does it feel like to be NE10 champion?
Oh, it's surreal. It's surreal. This is why you come to St. A's. This is what I've wanted for 3 years. And to do it with this group of guys, a brand new team, it's special. And it's emotional. It's what I wanted my whole life, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
So as a New Hampshire native, you were away as a freshman, came back. The journey is a long one, but this is just a wonderful way to finish it for you, although your season's not over, of course.
Correct. We still got more work to do, but it is special. It's definitely a special way to end this. Being a New Hampshire kid, I grew up coming to St. A's games, and to be able to win this game in this gym, after watching so many of them, it's special.
Yeah, sounds great. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you.
Josh, enjoy. Back to you guys. We got celebrating Hawks team out there right now.
Steve, thank you. It is a victory for St. Anselm. Chris Santo and Josh Morissette and crew, a 6-point difference. The full award ceremony streaming online. You can join us for that there. You can join us back here tomorrow for the NE10 Women's Championship. Congratulations to St. Anselm on the 2026 NE10 Championship presented by Visit Central Florida. For Steve Zerdelian and Frank Sullivan, the rest of our crew, Jared Fieldsend, our producer-director, my name is Joel Gadet saying so long from New England.